Hello everybody, welcome back to 4GetAboutIt TV. My name is Saima.
And I'm Humaira.
Our very special guest. Today we're going to be talking about the Oscars, which happened on Sunday, which was like 2 days ago, right? So, something very eventful happened at
Very
the Oscars
interesting.
on Sunday night.
Maybe the biggest event in pop culture history actually took place within our existence. So.
Within our existence, and we watched it happen live. Did you watch it?
I know.
I didn't watch it live.
I didn't even know the Oscars was happening. Like, Oscars to me was not it stopped being a thing until this happened again, and it brought award show back to life.
Yeah.
I feel like award shows have been back into something, and then this kind of like brought it back.
Yeah, I was just on my phone and I got a text, and it was my friend, and she was like, "Did you see what Will Smith just did?" And I was like, "I'm not watching them." And then I go on Twitter, everywhere it's trending, everywhere. Will Smith, Jada Pinkett, like Chris Rock. So essentially, what happened was Chris Rock made a joke at the Oscars because I think he was one of the hosts. Yeah. He was just like, he was calling out multiple couples in the audience, and then it came to
Keyword was calling out multiple couples.
Multiple.
Yeah.
And then he made a joke about Jada Pinkett, who's Will Smith's wife, and it was a G.I. Jane joke. Who's like,
Did you know who G.I. Jane is?
I know G.I. Joe.
Yeah, so G.I. I had to Google G.I. Jane. Yeah, after I Googled G.I. Jane, I saw the resemblance, and I'm like, okay.
And it was just that, like, she's bald.
Yeah.
But I think that was just the only thing, like, it's not like an insult, really. It was just the resemblance. It was like a comment about her resemblance because Jada Pinkett is bald. And I think it's because she has like alopecia. She's been like open about her journey with alopecia. And so that was the joke that was made. And everyone was laughing. Will was laughing too.
Yeah.
And then out of nowhere, he just goes up on stage and
within the same minute. So what happens is he says a joke. So Chris Rock says a joke. Will Smith's laughing alongside everyone in the crowd. Jada's sitting there like, "Will, what you on?" Like upset, visibly upset. And then Will takes the initiative to get up, go on stage, starts walking to Chris Rock. I'm saying Chris as if he's like my best friend. Anyways, so he starts walking to him, and Miskeen Chris, did you see him? He's like, "Hey, what's up?" Like, almost like ready to hear, like puts his ear out and then gets ducky. Gets
slapped.
And then Will has this nice smirk on his face, and
then he goes back to his seat and he like swears at him. He's like, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." Like he said it twice, but like he said it with so much like authority. You know what I mean? Like he was
keep my wife's name out your mouth.
Like he did what he had to do. But like, what are your thoughts on that?
So I have actually a few thoughts on it. So I think the main reason as to why like everyone's coming at Chris Rock is because she has alopecia. And so first of all, Chris Rock is a comedian. He's a comedian, number one. But number two, like at the end of the day, people are like attacking Chris Rock now for talking about like black women's hair and all of that stuff. Number one, at the end of the day, he has writers writing these jokes. Although
it wasn't even like 100% him.
100%. But then I do see the point of it should be the responsibilities of the writers to be doing like kind of like that backup research and to be making sure that the jokes like aren't too sensitive and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it's a joke's a joke. Like I don't see why it was that such a big deal. I just think Will Smith has been like a clown on the internet for like years and years to come because of his wife, that this was just so built up within him, and then Chris Rock just happens to be the scapegoat. And another thing, like I actually want to defend Chris Rock in a sense, because how does he know that she has alopecia or whatever it is? Like at the end of the day, Jada, she has had short hair her whole life. Like it's not just, I understand now she's bald due to like,
but like not everyone's gonna keep up with it.
Exactly. If you're not watching Table Talk, if you're not watching that on the regular, I had no idea she had this. I had no idea that this happened. I had no idea that who the heck G.I. Jane was. I had no idea. Like these kind of things are just jokes made for comedy purposes, and I just don't know why Will Smith had to resort to violence. Violence is not the key.
And he made a public apology on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it.
So he did apologize, right? So I think the interesting part of this,
he won an award right now.
He won an award 10 minutes later, which I don't think that should have been taken away from him. I know some people are saying like he should no longer deserve that award, but technically the award was for his work for something he's already done prior. I just think they should have handled that differently. But when he went on stage, he was talking about, man, when you love someone, love makes you do crazy things. And I'm like, well, you're the crazy one here. Like,
well, I like you were saying, like built up anger. Like he's been he's been like, oh, I feel so bad. Like so many jokes have been made about him and like his wife, and his wife is like, I'm loyal, like all of these things, and like, why are you gonna stand up for her when she's been loyal to you with the whole August situation? And like, I just feel really bad, and I think there's just some things that need to be resolved. But yeah, like violence is not the way to go about it. But I think Chris Rock handled it really well. Because he was like, he was like, oh, Will Smith just slapped me in my face, but he wasn't like.
Did you see how stumbled he was after it? Mm-hmm. He was like, oh, something documentary. I mean, award. I mean, I'm just frazzled. I just got slapped.
Yeah.
Will Smith. I was like, you're so miskin. Like, he was just a scapegoat of like Will clearly going through a number of things. Because Will Smith has even said like he's been suicidal at one point. Like he was going through a lot in terms of his relationship, his open relationship now.
Yeah. Keyword open. Yeah. But I think he just was like fed up with being humiliated.
I think that's what it was. So he took this moment as like a opportunity to stand up for himself. What did that really do for you? And there's a lot of people who agree with what Will Smith did, who like are like, you know what? There's something that you can't talk about, and that's someone's like wife, family. That's something you can't talk about,
and things that people can't control.
And Chris Rock had it coming. Some people are saying Chris Rock deserved it, and Will Smith was the go to like be able to do it.
I actually like went on his Instagram account, Chris Rock's, because I saw like a post and people were like complimenting him, like you handled that so well, like it's not your fault, like all that stuff. But it was just crazy. Do you think he could have just like said something from the crowd and been like, oh, like that's not cool? Because I was hearing like one of my friends was saying that, like he could have just been like, or like dealt with it privately or something like that, like instead of in front of everybody.
I think it just should have been I think this whole thing period should have just been a private matter. Like if he said something from the crowd, sure, like that's kind of his take on it. But then also if you really wanted to go up and like hit that man, like why did you want to? What made you publicly want to abuse him on camera like that?
Like I'm sure it was an in the moment thing, but there was something in him that like led him to do that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, people are saying that like Jada is like a manipulative person because he was laughing and then he sees her and then goes up, right? And people are saying she does all these table talks about like mindfulness and like being a better person, but they think that she like wears the pants in the relationship. Is the man, but like what does that mean? Like,
okay, I understand what does that mean, but what's so wrong if she does wear the pants in the relationship? Like a lot of times people will clown that man for like, look, your girl wears the pants in the relationship, and then it like really hits Will Smith in a sense of like his fragile masculinity and stuff like that. Like that's why he kind of just takes the back end hand thing or whatever it is. But I don't see what's wrong with her taking. I think that whole family is very dysfunctional to me, and I think that's a separate issue. But like women taking pants in a relationship,
that's fine.
Yeah, I don't see that to be such a big deal.
But I think it did come from a place of like insecurity.
Yeah, so insecure.
Like he just had to be the man. Like he had to go up and like slap.
And he could have done like if you want to deal with that with Chris Rock on the side, on the low, backstage or something like that, then you can, right? Like. The way Chris Rock handled it, he could have easily done something as well, and it would have been such a big. Imagine if there was a big brawl at the Oscars.
Yeah, that would have been so messy. That would have been so bad.
But then also would have been so different, like the way we're speaking about it now. Is the fact that just Chris Rock didn't do anything, and like people were even because of how influential these two people are. People were for so long questioning if it was scripted or not.
Yeah, like, because they're like he's an actor. They're like he's an actor. He can just act it out. But also. Would he do that to his name? Like, you know? Yeah. So many people have been really, really criticizing him as well. Like,
I don't think this is going to affect his career in the slightest. I don't think
so. I think they're going to look it over.
Yeah, because of the two people who were like in this situation, I don't think this situation is going to like affect their career in a negative way. Whereas if it was someone else, all they would be remembered for is the man Will Smith slap or something like that, you know?
Literally.
But because it's Chris Rock and because it's Will Smith, they could come from this and they could
they could come.
PR management come in now.
Literally, they're gonna do a table talk or something. I mean, what happened at the Oscar? A breakdown, literally. They'll have a table talk about it. I have a little side tangent. Did you see? You watched Euphoria, right?
No.
Oh man,
No,
the internet is going crazy about this, guys. They're making edits, Euphoria and like Will Smith edits, because there's a scene in Euphoria where this girl in the crowd gets mad at something that's happening on the stage, and she goes and slaps the girl.
Oh yeah.
So they're making edits like of Will Smith and the girl in Euphoria, and like it's just crazy. I see you guys are fast.
The memes coming out of this one is like the fastest I've almost seen. Yeah.
So I actually found a TikTok that on my For You page because, like I said, the internet was going crazy about the situation. And this is a person's thoughts about the whole Will situation. And they think that this situation mirrors a situation of someone who is a victim of narcissism and who has finally had enough, which is why he had to like go out and express his thoughts in violence. And the fact that he was laughing, he was initially laughing at the joke, and then seeing her angered reaction or like pissed off reaction, and knowing what would happen if he didn't react or like stand up for her, and then he tried to like convince the audience that him reacting that way was out of love rather than pent up anger and unresolved emotion. That's just like her thoughts about it.
So in this situation, who's the narcissist?
They're saying that Jada is the narcissist, and that he's a victim in their relationship.
Interesting. Well, I will leave my thoughts to it, and I'm actually going to ask the viewers at home to leave a comment below on what your thoughts are on this amazing historic pop culture event.
Stay tuned for more content from 4GetAboutIt TV.
Yeah. And that'll be all. Bye guys. Bye. See you next week. Oh, maybe not me, but
me. I'll be here next week.
Bye everyone.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that little bell notification. And don't forget to check us out on all our social medias. And if you want to see more, check our website.